All right, everyone ready to dive into something pretty fascinating? Today we're going to be looking at India's Tata Group.
Yeah, they're way more than just a typical company, right? Like, they're woven into India's history. You almost can't untangle them.
It's wild. I mean, we're talking steel, cars, hospitality, tech. They even made the world's cheapest car at one point.
To really grasp it, we'll be using this article, Tata, a success story from India to the world.
Okay, so huge company basically touches everyone's lives in India in some way.
And beyond, too.
But what blows my mind is how they got there. Like late 1800s company becomes a global giant. How does that even happen?
You got to understand the India they were born into. Think British rule, mostly agricultural economy. That's the scene.
Not exactly a breeding ground for multinational conglomerate.
Right. But Jamsetji Tata comes in, this guy. He sees an industrialized India, and here's the key. He actually does something about it.
So less dreaming, more doing.
Exactly. That's a whole foundation of Tata Group. Not just business, it's nation building.
I'm picking up on a theme here.
Yeah, and it's clear from day one, 1907, they start Tata Iron and Steel Company. This wasn't just any steel plant, by the way.
Oh.
India's first fully integrated steel plant. Huge leap forward for the country.
Massive undertaking back then, I bet.
Absolutely. But Jamsetji Tata, he's thinking bigger, right? Strong nation needs more than just factories.
Education, infrastructure, that kind of thing.
Spot on. He helps establish the Indian Institute of Science, top-tier research institution.
Wow.
And get this, worker welfare. He's pushing for fair treatment, decent conditions, way before it was trendy.
Setting the stage for their social responsibility reputation, huh?
Yeah, not just building a business, building a nation in a way that benefits everyone.
I like that. Not just profits, but progress for the whole country.
And they don't stop there.
Uh-huh.
1932, they go and found India's first airline. Tata Airlines, later Air India.
Whoa, from steel to the skies.
Constant innovation, venturing into new areas. That's got to resonate with you, right? You always say how much you love mention listeners' known interest related to progress, learning, or business.
Absolutely. It's that drive, identifying a need and going for it, no fear. It's inspiring.
Yeah, and this going for it attitude, it becomes even more crucial when India gets its independence in 45. Tata's role just explodes.
Huge turning point for both, huh? So how do they handle this new landscape? How do they help a newly independent nation grow?
They realize India's needs have changed. Big shift for Tata. Diversification becomes key.
Makes sense. Can't rely on the old ways.
1945, Tata Motors is born.
Wait, as in the car company.
That far back. Yep. And they're not content just building cars for India. 1954, partnership with Daimler-Benz.
Commercial vehicles, right. Germans know their stuff.
Global ambitions right there.
They're becoming a force to be reckoned with inside and outside India.
Right on. But it's not just cars. 1968, they established Tata Consultancy Services, TCS.
Oh yeah, huge in IT.
And this move, it's not just them getting into tech, it kind of foreshadows India's whole IT dominance later on.
That's some serious foresight. So by this point, they're way beyond just steel, right?
Yeah.
What other sectors did they get into?
Oh, the 80s is a wild ride. Tata Chemicals, big player in that industry. Tata Power, energy sector, even Taj Hotels.
Hospitality, too. By the end of the century, they're this massive, diverse ecosystem almost.
Exactly. Practically touching every part of Indian life.
So they built this incredible base in India. But I'm guessing this is when they really go global.
You got it. The 2000s, that's when Tata goes big on the world stage. And not just randomly growing, they're smart about it.
Strategic acquisitions, huh?
Exactly. They pick companies to give them a strong position globally. One of the first, and this is interesting, Tetley Tea in 2000.
Oh, wow. Tetley. I mean, who hasn't had a cup of Tetley?
Right. So Tata, they're not just buying tea, they're buying a global brand with loyal customers. Brilliant way to enter the consumer market worldwide.
Instead of starting from scratch, they get a name everyone knows. Clever.
But they don't stop there. 2007, they buy Chorus Group.
Steel, right?
Huge steel player, cements their position in that industry. And then 2008, this is the one that made everyone pay attention, Jaguar Land Rover.
Wow, those are some iconic luxury brands. What was the thinking there?
Bold move for sure. Tata's saying, we're competing in the luxury market head-to-head with the best.
Not just for the name, though, right?
It's about the expertise, design, engineering, manufacturing, top-notch stuff.
Long-term play, building their capabilities
Yep.
and reputation.
Exactly. And then there's this one, stands out not for its size, but for what it represents. The Tata Nano, 2009.
The world's cheapest car, right? Wasn't that a bit controversial?
It was. On one hand, amazing engineering, a car at that price, opens up car ownership for so many Indians. But yeah, some worried about safety, if such a cheap car could really last.
So was it a success? Was it purely business, or was there a social responsibility angle too?
Tough question. It shows how complex Tata's motivations are. Are they all about profits? Or making a difference? Maybe both.
A lot of companies struggle with that balance, I bet. But even attempting the nano, that's pretty daring.
Totally. Willingness to push boundaries. And that's a theme as we move closer to now. Natharajan Chandrasekaran takes over in 2017. Tata embraces new tech, adapting to the changing world.
What kind of changes? What's their focus now?
He sees digitalization as key, makes it a priority, also gets them into electric vehicles, big in India now.
So even after 150 plus years, they're still changing, still adopting new things.
That entrepreneurial spirit hasn't died. They want to stay ahead of the curve.
Impressive. Okay, so we've seen their journey, but what about their impact today? How influential are they globally?
Numbers don't lie. Over 30 companies, 10 sectors in over 100 countries. In 2023, we're $311 billion. That's 69th most valuable brand globally.
That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah.
But it's more than just money, right? It's that nation-building legacy and the commitment to doing good that's been there from the start.
You nailed it. Even today, they're all about positive impact, not just profits. They want to tackle the big global challenges.
It's not every day you see a company that big caring about more than just money, you know? So how are they actually doing this social responsibility stuff? Like concrete examples?
Well, sustainability is a big one. They're really trying to reduce their environmental impact, investing in renewable energy, being responsible for resources, all that across their businesses.
Not just talking the talk, huh?
Right. And they're super involved in community stuff, too. Education, healthcare, fighting poverty, especially where their companies operate.
So it's not just like donations. They're
Yeah,
actually on the ground making things better.
exactly. And these values, it's not just a PR thing. It's built into their whole culture. Goes back to Jamsetji Tata himself.
Their founder, right?
Yeah, working for the community, that was his thing. Still guides them today.
Over a century later, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so we've seen their past, their present, but what about the future? Any big trends, challenges coming their way?
Well, they're all about adapting, right? So I think they're in a good spot to handle whatever the 21st century throws at them. But I mean, everyone's got challenges.
True.
Tech disruption, that's a big one. Things change so fast. Got to be nimble to keep up.
But they seem pretty good at adopting new stuff. Digitalization, electric vehicles, they're already on it.
Right. What about globally? Think they'll keep expanding internationally?
They've got to be, right?
Yeah, I think so. They've made a lot of progress already. Acquisitions, partnerships, all that. As they grow, they'll be looking for more opportunities to use their skills and resources around the world.
Exciting to think about what they might do next. They've come so far, and it feels like they're just getting started. So Tata's story, it's way more than just business, right? It's vision, it's building a nation, it's making a positive impact on the whole world.
Couldn't have said it better. They show how a company can make money, AE, do good. And that commitment to social responsibility, it can actually drive innovation and growth.
Totally agree. And knowing how they like to push boundaries, it makes you wonder, what's next for Tata? What global problems are they going to take on as they keep growing? Something I'll definitely be watching. What about you, listener? What do you think they might tackle next? It's been awesome exploring the world of Tata with you, and thanks for joining us on this deep dive.